Dear NASA, first thing I'd like to say right off the bat, thank you. Yes, thank you so much for sending some items I ordered last month, the new track and spark plug and clutch. Now, I don't like to complain, and I know that you're busy with plans for a moon base and that, but sure Canada Post could have got me my stuff a lot quicker. I'd say that's a fact. I've been stuck here on Mars now this 2 months, I suppose, and it's starting to get on my nerves. I came after a moose, got one first day, I think, if my memory serves. He wasn't too far, and I got him lugged out of the crater that once was a pond. And I hate to be bursting your bubbles, but yes, boys, there's water. I knew all along. I panched him and cleaned him and loaded him up on the Cometic I had in tow, then hauled on my pull cord about 12 dozen times, but my old 12 land wouldn't go. I was rotted with that, so I tested the spark plug, found there was no spark to see. I can't grumble too much. She had the same plug since I bought her in '73. I got to confess I was a bit stressed to find I was missing a spare, but then I remembered I used it to fix up your Voyager space probe last year. So you owe me, I think, and that's why I called up and put in my order for parts. But the order you sent didn't have everything that I ordered, and that's where this starts. Where's my new lighting coil, my quart of lube oil, my front and my rear drive sprockets? Where's my 2 cans of gas? Did you run out of cash? Sure, you got that in loose change in your pockets. You say that you're all out of bearings. I find that a bit hard to swallow. I dare say you got lots in some dusty old box left over from Project Apollo. And what about this queer little pickup you sent to bring me the stuff that I need? Sure, there's that much old junk in the box in the trunk. There's no room for my stuff, no indeed. The chopper was nice, and I used it to look for my moose, though that's not allowed. It saved me some walking, but now don't you be talking to the cops or the wildlife crowd. But it kept buzzing around, and I suppose 'twas the crowd into ground control looking for stuff. It got on my nerves a few days ago, and I figured enough was enough. I had 3 Martian geese lined up for a shot when here comes your little robot. My geese were all drove, so I hauled off and nailed that thing with some number 2 shot. I felt a bit bad as I looked at the wreck, but I didn't feel bad very long. It looked like some parts might be good for my 12. Turned out that I wasn't wrong. The main rotor bearings went right on my crankshaft. My old ones were wore out, you see. Reduce, reuse, and recycle, they say, and I'm sure that you all would agree. And that, I would say, is when the light went on right, and I figured a way to get home. The parts were all there, the best kind of gear, all shiny and coated with chrome. And right about then, you just may have noticed, your rover stopped roving around. I needed some wheels to replace some old bogies I had that were gone out of round. I stripped off some decking, welded it onto my frame where it was rusted right through. It looked pretty good, so I stripped off the rest. Now my 12 looks all shiny and new. My wiring was shot, my headlight was gone, my brake light would never stop blinking. So I took some of yours from a camera, I guess. You had more than enough, was my thinking. My armature plate was cracked in one spot and needed new points and a pin. That little flywheel where the camera rotates, that worked perfect and fitted right in. My drive belt was bad, and the one that you had on the rover was slightly too wide. But it did get me home, and your rover should roam with new wheels and my old belt inside. I needed a drill to complete my repairs, so I took a good look all around. I know you won't need the one that I took. It was only there drilling the ground. And so thank you, NASA. I got back today, and my 12 was fixed up and light and new. I'll drop off some moose meat to Mission Control for you and the astronauts, too. You might want to work on your courier service. You might want to pull up your socks. As for your rover, she needs a few parts, and she's sitting on Mars up on blocks.